I do what I do.
Not before I finish this. So now, here we are. Blue Baggins, shout out to you. We might get 4 more. I got to get this out though. Now they facing deportation. And when they find themselves in the crosshairs of these friendly white liberals, these friendly white folk, right? Folks that never built this system for them in the first place, we need to ask ourselves, what should we do? What should we as foundational Black Americans do in response, not for the individual Black people from Africa that we love and appreciate, not for the ones that we married to or maybe have children. I'm not talking about that. Take care of your family. I shout out to Randy Harris. I'm talking about what we should do as a group of people who have felt disrespect, who have not felt the love, who've not felt the appreciation up until the past 3 weeks when they done been on the internet confessing. What should we do in response to them calling us bush cats and the cotters and telling our people they were cotton pickers and stray cats with no home and telling us we don't have a home to go back to and we not having? What should we do? Shout out to GCLA. 2 more, that'll be 50. We should do nothing. We should do exactly what those African countries did for the past 500 years when they had every opportunity to send boats, ships, and planes to bring us their lost children that did nothing back home. Shout out to Clyde FBA Green. When Africa saw us suffering under Jim Crow, when they saw our men and women lynched and burned and humiliated and terrorized, they did nothing. They never sent a convoy to petition the United States government to change its racist laws that kept us underfoot and kept their foot on our neck. Nope. We had to do all that ourselves. So we should do the exact thing they did during Jim Crow. Nothing. When they saw Black men being targeted in the 1980s and 1990s, good looking out, GCLA, that gets us to 50. That's nifty. Anyway, when they saw us being funneled into the school and prison pipeline, you heard them say it. You think that girl just learned that 3 weeks ago? You think she just learned it 3 weeks ago? They've been knowing this for a while. They just didn't care. They didn't offer Black men. Back then, they didn't offer. Some of y'all got family members who are locked up right now. Felt like they was trapped. Back in the day, we used to call it the trap. The game was a trap. They called it the trap. You trying to feed your family, trying to take care of your people. I ain't got no outlet. I can't go nowhere. My mama's on welfare, no money. I'm going to go jump in this trap. I know it's a trap, but I'm going to sell dope till they catch me. At least that'll get us to next week. That'll get us to next month. That'll get us through these years. I want to be a man too. When they saw our Black men in that trap in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, they didn't offer to rehabilitate those men. They didn't offer those men a second chance on African soil. They didn't say, hey, send your youth over here. Send those young Black American men over here. We will train them in the traditional ways in which Africans have been trained, and we'll bring them into manhood. When the Black mothers and the Black fathers were separated because the men were sent in jail, and you had a whole slew of young Black boys being raised in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, the whole world knew about it. Matter of fact, there was an article that came out in the 1990s that said the Black male is an endangered species. You don't think those educated Africans read that? Shout out to Barry Little. You don't think they read that? They didn't offer to bring us home. They did nothing. And when they saw police brutality, when they saw our men and our women beaten in the streets and murdered on camera, treated like animals, they didn't offer any escape. Did they use their oil reserves or diamond mines or their land or their resources to provide us with a place to relocate? No, they did nothing. So now, let them suffer. Now, here we are. After decades of telling us to work harder, stop being victims, they find themselves at the mercy of the same system that crushed us. And now, well, I say, let them suffer. Let them suffer the indignation of being uprooted from their homes and schools and churches. Let them suffer from the pain of being humiliated and locked in cages and handcuffed like criminals and brutalized by the very system they once believed was fair. Let them suffer. Let them suffer like we did, the agony of having their humanity disregarded. Let them beg for fair treatment like we did. And maybe, just maybe, after they go through the crucible of humiliation, after they are degraded, after they're targeted, not for what they've done, but for who they are, maybe we can have an honest conversation with our African brothers and sisters. Maybe after they complain to their governments back in Africa about how they've been mistreated in the United States, they put us in handcuffs, treated us like criminals, shipped us back home, shipped us all these other countries. Maybe after that, maybe those governments, those same governments that ignored us, maybe they'll finally look at foundational Black Americans with empathy. Maybe they'll open their ports up and their lands and their economies to our people and give us a place to rest without all the doggone red tape. And so we can rebuild and reclaim what we've lost. Because as it stands right now, there is no understanding. Not for me. And this, as far as I'm concerned, this lesson is long overdue. I see a lot of African immigrants on the internet today confessing that they now all of a sudden understand what Black Americans have had to endure. How convenient. How convenient. The first wave of these new African immigrants came after the 1965 immigration bill. By the 1980s, their numbers had grown significantly. By the 1990s, they were taking over our universities, our scholarships, our opportunities, the seats in these elite institutions, and they were set aside. Things were set aside for foundational Black Americans under affirmative action. But they didn't understand our struggle then. No, they built their numbers up. They gained access to resources. They assimilated into the system, and they ignored our fight. And now that they see their families broken apart, mama being sent home, granddaddy being sent home, now they see them being deported and denied opportunities. Suddenly they understand. See, now that diversity, equity, and inclusion and DEI is being revoked, because don't make any mistake, the primary beneficiaries of those admittances into those universities and those jobs, they ain't us. They're not foundational Black Americans. You got a lot of Africans, you got a lot of Caribbean. There's some foundational Black Americans in there, but it ain't us. Now that affirmative action is being dismantled, now that they're being stripped of the same privileges that they once enjoyed, suddenly they want unity. Now that they're feeling the sting of rejection, now that they're witnessing the full force of white dominance in this white ethos state that these folk are trying to rebuild, now they understand. Now, somebody type now in the chat room, now. Now they want interference. Now they want to holler flag on the play. Now they want to rescue. Well, me, and I'm only speaking for me, and I'm talking about group politics. If I had a vote and I was voting on what foundational Black Americans could do, shout out to Joshua Ben Joseph. We got 52 super chats. Me over here, me right here, who got a document that shows my family being sold into slavery and transferred, me, that got the DNA to show that the white man had children by my grandmother while she was married to my great-great-great-great-grandfather, me, that knows my history well enough to know that folk had plenty of opportunity to do something that they could do for us, but they didn't do it, and now they just ignored us, me, I refuse to interfere with this lesson that they're learning. If they're able to survive, if they're able to endure, if this African people, the new Africans who came, if they're able to adapt as we have, well, then maybe we could have a conversation. Maybe that will help facilitate some understanding. Maybe they'll know a little bit more about what we've had to deal with. But until then, until that comes, until that happens, my vote is let them suffer. This is Uncle D. God bless you all. I love you. I do love you. Shout out to all my African brothers and sisters. I love you. Shout out to my Caribbean brothers and sisters. I love y'all too. And big shout out to my foundational Black American brothers and sisters. Y'all go ahead and enjoy the festing, and I hope that, whatever happens, May the Most High be with them. But nevertheless, this is Uncle D. And as I always say at this time, I am out.
What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. D's Black Man Talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.